Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye podcast. It is episode 34, and we have so much to discuss, so much to talk about, and we have a pretty packed show. I'm back as your host. It feels a little bit weird not seeing Dylan on the chair again, but without further ado, let me introduce, as always, my two co-hosts now, Mr. Dylan Jimenez and Christian. How are we doing?
Oh, just getting ready to go back to college already this week, man. So, pretty busy this week.
That's right. That's right. Happy back to school to everyone who's already started school, and happy back to school to those who are going to be starting school next week. Christian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I actually start college next week, so just my last week of fun, I guess, so to say.
Last week of fun, and you're clocking in some hours at the Eagle Eye podcast. I guess the fun never stops. And joining us today is Footmec's own Miss Cari Torres. Cari, how we doing?
Hey, I'm good. Just adulting on a Tuesday. Not going back to college, so living that life.
Adulting on a Tuesday. Okay, sounds very interesting.
It is.
All right, so we have a packed show. We're going to be talking about exactly what happened against Querétaro in the Corregidora, and then we're going to be talking about the big game coming up tomorrow between León and America. Cari's going to help us break down everything from the León side, and then, of course, we're going to be talking everything from our own Águilas del América, and then we'll briefly talk about the Lady Águilas and their sad defeat to Pumas. We'll discuss a little bit about that, and then we'll close out the show. So we got plenty to talk about, and plenty of people on the live chat ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, ready to get started?
Let's do this.
Do it.
Let go.
All right, so let's kick things off, and let's rewind last Saturday. America faced off against Querétaro at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 Central time, and then for you, Christian, it was 10 o'clock. It was a pretty late game, and interesting enough, we knew that this game was going to be tough. We knew that Querétaro was never an easy place to go, and even though this was a Querétaro side that was struggling, we all had a little bit of doubts for our own team going into the stadium, and it looks like we were right to be concerned, because at the end of the day, America only walked away with one goal after it looked like we were going to be walking away with all three. End result is 1-1. Dylan, I'm gonna throw it to you first. What was your what do you take away from this?
God, did we even deserve that draw? I'm gonna be just straight honest. I don't. It's really hard, to see this team play the way it was, especially going from week one up until really, you see this team just perform. You see this team grow too as a team. You see them get better week in, week out, and then just for them just to like go back down to seem like back to that week one performance, it really sucks.
It really does. It really does. And you're right. And we're going to talk about as to why maybe we didn't deserve that draw. And, we'll talk about what I think was arguably our worst game of the season so far. Christian, throwing it to you now, exactly emotions after the final whistle goes. It's 1-1. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Dylan. It was very disappointing. The way we came out did not impress me at all. I really thought we were going to play much better. Like you said, we did have our doubts coming into this, but honestly, we should have played better.
And Kadi, what do you sum up if you even watched the game? I didn't even ask you.
I missed it because that Saturday it was like 3 different games at the same time, so it's kind of like you have to choose wisely. And I actually chose to watch the Monterrey game, so I did catch some of the highlights. And I saw the scoreboard. I was like 1-1. I kind of was disappointed because America's been doing good. I think that's pretty evident. So I did see the goal, so I was, kind of wondering what happened.
I guess let us fill you in exactly what happened, and let's talk about exactly what went down for us on Saturday night. Let's just talk about it straight from the back. We did not start the game the way we intended or the way we wanted to, and this didn't really call for concern because we've seen this kind of be the scenario for America this whole season. Start off a little bit slow, but you kind of work yourself up into the game, and then you finally get your footing in, and then you finally start seeing the America that we want to see. Though it didn't look that way for about 45 minutes. I think we played terrible. I even commented on the live tweets. We weren't passing. We weren't even making simple passes. At the last 15 minutes, we resorted to playing long ball United. And it just seemed very frustrating because we knew we had a very talented team. This was the same lineup that went out and played a game against Monterrey and beat them 3-0. So what happened? Where was the change? What was different? What did you guys see from these players that you guys saw them do on Saturday that they did not do against Querétaro?
Well, first, I don't think everybody was there playing in the first place. And I think a little bit of really you see the lineup, and you assume that it's going to be a 4-4-2 out straight out the back, but for some reason you see Oribe Peralta and in this camp position. You wonder what's Oribe doing there, what's Biojo doing, and so it really seemed like it seemed to throw off the game flow and the gameplay of the game going forward too as well. Really, I questioned in the first 45 minutes. I questioned a lot too. Are we even playing? Where are some of these players at? I questioned the likes of Guido Rodriguez playing. Obviously, Diego Lainez not giving us performance that we thought he would too, as well. Diego not performing up to what we expect sometimes. Roger Martinez too, as well. There's a lot of players that you have to question, and where are they at on this pitch? Because they seem like there's nowhere to be found. It wasn't 11 players on the pitch to me. It was just a few players here and there that are doing some things.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll talk about a certain amount of players that we kind of caught our eye for all the very wrong reasons, and one of those is going to be Diego Lainez, and we'll discuss about why the youngster probably maybe should even deserve to be sit out for the game against Leon. We know he's not because he's already been confirmed in the lineup, but I think there's some calls for concern there. We'll discuss about those right now. But Christian, what did you see? What concerned you the most in the first 45 minutes?
Sloppy passing. We've been saying this all year. America needs to improve on their passing every single game as the season progresses, and that game against Querétaro, we did not do that. A lot of times I saw the midfield misplace easy passes that, not to like the U6 level can make. It's just very, very disappointing to see. I really think when we play from our defense up, there was no flow, like you guys said, no structure in the midfield to create a chance, and I think that's where we lacked a lot in the first half.
And you know what? And I think what should be more concerning was the fact that we made all these sloppy passes, not because Querétaro was putting the pressure on, but because we just weren't 100% there. I mean, granted, Querétaro at times did put some pressure on it, but there was just moments of just stupid thinking, really, from our players, because Diego Lainez, for instance, could have easily seen a man that is making the run towards him, and instead of passing it and then trying to play the 1-2, he decides to kind of drift inside and cut inside instead of actually playing the easy ball to the guy who's already making the overlap run. Mm-hmm. And it was just simple moments like that where you thought all you need to do is play it simple and something would have occurred from that, something would have happened. And nothing really did at the end. So, I mean, take it from what it was. I mean, we don't really have to talk about the lineup because it was the same lineup against Monterrey, and we were pretty confident with that lineup. But I do want to talk about the concern for Oribe Peralta in that cam position. And I'll throw it to you, Kari, because I feel like we've left you out for a little bit. You've seen Oribe Peralta play, obviously, for many, many years. You've seen how he has to adapt now to this kind of more passing role. You see him more as a center forward instead of a lethal striker. Do you see an Oribe Peralta playing a cam position and actually being able to do a pretty good job at it?
I don't know if that has to do with age, but how old is Oribe? Like 30?
34?
34, I believe.
I mean, putting on that role, but I think speed has a lot to do with it. So can he keep up? Can he, visualize, on the field from that aspect? So I don't know. I mean, to me, Oribe, I guess sometimes I'm like, Oribe, just, and then game, he'll just show out and just score. And I'm like, okay, Oribe still has it. But now, like you said, maybe a different position. Could he? Yeah. But will he be enough? I guess that's my thing. Will he, si va a rendir en ese rol? Do you have someone else that's going to be doing a better job? I guess.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's our main concern is the fact that can he adapt? Can he actually play that role? And I think, speaking for these two gentlemen as well, I think that we do not have that confidence in Oribe Peralta. look, it's one thing to kind of play a little bit deeper and still be a forward. It's another thing to play in a cam position because now your roles are completely different. Now you're more of a midfielder who supports the attack, but still has this responsibility of holding a midfield. And I don't see Oribe Peralta doing that. We've seen a little bit of him in preseason where Piojo, for some reasons, put him deep in the midfield for whatever reason that may have been. But I don't think he's the right call to make in that position. I think arguably we would have much rather have seen either Diego Lainez in that cam role, Ibarwen, or Cecilio Dominguez instead of Oribe Peralta. Just because as much as we love the determination and kind of the willpower that Oribe Peralta has to kind of run and run and run throughout the whole game, even at his age, it's one thing to chase the ball. It's another thing to be able to place a perfectly weighted pass, and that's something that Oribe maybe for me just doesn't have to kind of be that crucial number 10 spot. And gentlemen, step in here and say what you guys want to say about Rio Peralta playing in that camp position, because I know I wasn't the only one a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you too, man. But it's just come down to the end too that Piojo just has so much trust in Oribe and that Piojo's just gonna ride Oribe no matter what throughout the end. So either Oribe leaves the club or Oribe calls it quits, and that's just the bottom line of it too as well.
Christian?
Yeah, I completely agree with Dylan. I don't think Oribe should be in that camp position. Like, he shouldn't even consider for the camp position. Like you said, he drops down too much in the mid, doesn't help Roger at some points. But I think if he was at that in the striker position next to Roger in some key moments, maybe there could have been a chance as well. But like you guys said, Oribe is not suited for the camp position.
Yeah, it's not, and you're right. He has too much confidence still in Oribe Peralta, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I think each coach has their go-to players. It's another thing to put them in a position where maybe you even know as a coach that maybe he won't be 100% the best player to put in that position. Because I think we were all hoping for that 4-4-2, and if it was going to be that case, I think the game maybe would have looked a lot more different, because then you would have seen a Mateus Uribe a little bit more forward. You would have seen a Guido Rodriguez be a little bit more attentive, more alert, because he knows he's the only one playing that center defensive mid role. And it would have made it so that Oribe Peralta maybe pulled a little bit of players one way or another way for Roger Martinez to run into the space, which we didn't have that, which I think then led to exactly what we saw. Just no actual real threat from us going forward. I mean, could you ever remember a time where you thought, wow, we missed 3-4 clear ones?
No, I mean, that's something that you lack too going forward too as well.
So I think that was our main concern, is Oribe Peralta in that camp position spot. We know what the lineup is going to be against Leon, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. The call is again, the call for concern is going to be, is he going to be in that camp spot again? And we'll talk about that, and we'll have to weigh in and see exactly what Piojo does. But anything else you guys want to point out for the first half that kind of just made you guys think, no, this is not good?
No.
No. I mean, really, can you even find good? I mean, I'm pretty sure we covered all the not good.
I mean,
besides Oribe's goal, which
besides the goal, that's the only good part, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, which I didn't even see going in until like the last minute. To be honest, like I didn't even think that was going in at all.
And that actually comes from a play where what happens in that play? It comes off a play where I think, who runs in? I think Roger.
Sanchez, was it? Yeah, Roger.
Roger. And the defense just scrambles it out, and then America is able to play it and switch it over to the right-hand side. And, of course, beautiful ball by Sanchez. And then Oribe Peralta somehow gets there. I really thought the defender was going to get there. And somehow Oribe finds the back of the net. I do want to talk about something, and this is probably something that most Americanistas will not agree with me at all, and maybe you gentlemen will not agree with me at all either. And that is the boy Jorge Sanchez. Jorge Sanchez, for me, is still not my number one pick for the right back spot. And I know a lot of people listening to this right now are going to think, what in the world is this guy talking about? Has he not seen the games he's been playing? Has he not seen how he played against Monterrey? Did he not see the good game he had against Querétaro, the pass, everything? Yes, I've seen him. He has potential. He has great talent. He is an amazing player. But if you look and really study him for the full 90 minutes, you will see that this kid leaves a lot of space opening for that left winger to just absolutely tear our defense apart. You saw it a little bit in the Querétaro. He got exposed more in a game where I really think he shouldn't have, because I didn't think Querétaro was going to bring that much arsenal towards the front. And you just saw just little mistakes here and there. Jorge Sanchez, sometimes the ball, his passing was a little bit off for me. His movement a little bit, here and there was a little bit questionable for me, because I feel like he was so determined to go forward. He was so determined to kind of fill in that Paul Aguilar role that he kind of forgot what it was that he needs to do, which is actually secure that right back spot, make sure that we leave no open space in that in that flank, because let's be honest, it hurts us whenever we don't have our fullbacks in that position that we want them to be. So for me, Jorge Sanchez isn't 100% the starter for me. I like him. He has a great future, and I'm so glad we have him. But I'm not. I hope people can kind of pull back a little bit from saying that, oh, he is, this absolutely amazing player. He is. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want this to get to his head, because perfect example is what's going on with Diego Lainez right now. Diego Lainez had a horrible game. I think the worst game we've seen from him against Querétaro. And why did it come of that? Because he's been performing really well. The media's been getting to him. And he can say whatever he wants to say, but at the end of the day, he is 17 years old. How are you going to tell me this is not going to try to get to his head? And the way he played showcased that. How many times did he try to dribble and take players on and lose the ball? And we can easily have done this so easily. Now, don't get me wrong, what he's doing is good. He's trying things, but it's one thing to try here and there, and it's another thing to be careless and not know how to play your game. There's times when to do it, and there's other times to play the simple ball. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And Jorge Sanchez, I believe in him. I do. I just want people to maybe, a little bit caution of concern when you're talking about him, because I don't want this to get to him either. But believe me, I think he's in the right position, and I think things are going well. I like him because he can play right back or left back. And trust me, we've seen what he does in left back position too. It's amazing. So I don't know if you guys want to add on to anything of that.
No, I agree with you. The media, I guess us America fans really like him because of what he's been doing with Paulo Aguilar. But in that last game, you can't really, you can say that he's been out of position and he was caught sometimes, but you have to say that about the whole defense as well. There's a lot of moments where you saw Edson Alvarez not cover spaces, Bruno Valdez not covering spaces, and we can get to Luis Reyes afterwards, and I'll explain why I think it's a great idea he is not in the starting 11 tomorrow, because he really has not convinced me in these games. But, I do agree with you, Jorge Sanchez, I disagree with you, honestly. I think Jorge Sanchez is that perfect player for that right back position. I don't know.
I know he is.
No, but I do see where you're coming from, though, where he shouldn't get, America fans shouldn't really put in their minds that he is that number one, that Paulo should be erased from the starting 11, because he shouldn't be. But I do see where you're coming from. I just disagree with you, because at this moment I think he is our man for right back.
Okay, perfect. A little bit of argument never hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you, man. I do see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think Sanchez has merited some starts, and you're seeing that too now. And definitely, I think if Aguilar comes back 100%, definitely I'm going to plug in Aguilar. But at the same time, he has merited some starts too as well.
Well, at least I know Carlos is taking my side.
Well, I think he's young, and obviously he's not. I think with Dylan said, he's not going to totally start in place of him until Aguilar's back, but you have to give the kid credit. You have to give him some time, because eventually, if he keeps on developing how he is, he's going to be that legit, right back. So, like you said, let's not, he's done his stuff, let it not to get to his head, but I think that's just up to him how he wants to take it. Just as Linus, I think we all have been very happy with what he's done, and we've been appreciated that he's given the opportunity, because I think that's what we all have been waiting for. And, obviously he can have some high games and then some low games, but, he's gonna have to be critic about, okay, this game, I did this, improve next game, So that's just my input. And I'm just thrown off because León beat Querétaro and you guys pulled the draw. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny.
I'm still attacking my own show.
I'm just thinking, okay, I really should have watched this game instead and see how things, and I hear you guys and stuff. I just 4-0 to 1-1 and it's America because, that from what I saw from that America Monterrey, I said America's gonna, beat Monterrey, and they totally outplayed Monterrey. Monterrey looked totally lost, so I expect, okay, they're gonna keep on, demonstrating how dominant they are, especially a team that León beat them. They should be winning 2-3-0. So I saw a draw and I was like, this is very interesting. So throwing that out there, but yeah.
Throwing that out there, it sounds very It's okay. I mean, if you want, we can discuss your guys' 4-0 loss against Cruz Azul for the next 2 minutes.
I'm more than happy. 3-0.
3-0, yes.
Might even extra goal. And I actually watched that game because I knew you were gonna be going. You were coming on, and obviously we were playing León on tomorrow, Wednesday. And I'm be honest with you, whenever we play León at the Camp Nou, I don't know why, but I'm always nervous. I'm always nervous whenever we play you guys there. But we'll talk about that a little bit. We're just gonna wrap up this preview right now. Second half, pretty much same as the first, pretty much. America did not demonstrate anything better. America did not showcase that we were gonna be even just well-oiled machine that we looked like. And again, simple mistakes, simple passing, and the goal. What can we say about the goal we concede? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Even the way it goes in, you think, really?
Hey, with the way we've been playing, man, with the way we played against Querétaro, I mean, it was bound to happen to me.
It was bound to happen. You knew something.
It really was. I mean, yeah, you knew something was gonna happen. So I mean, really, there's really not much to say into it, because you could really say a lot about it at the same time. And that doesn't make sense. I really contradicted myself right there because it said you can't say much about it, but then it said you can say so much about it. So I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay, but look, this is the most frustrating part to me, is that I know we did not play well. I know that we did not deserve to walk away there with 3 points, and I know that we played horrible in every aspect. But even when a championship team plays like the way we played, they somehow walk away with the result. And that is something that we did not do. That frustrates me because we should, even in our worst, we should be able to walk away with that W. We should be able to hold off. How many times have I told you guys the clean sheet is so important for us, for the defense. And for us to not be able to walk away with that, it frustrated me. It got me more mad, the fact that we weren't able to walk away with it. We couldn't keep and hold the result, than the fact that we played terrible as we did. Because a championship side should be able to play ugly and still walk away with something. A draw is not something, because what are we going to do? We're going to do the same thing we did last year, Dylan. And then we're going to talk about in the Jornada 14-15 how that draw could have easily been a win, but now we're in this place in the table where we could have been in this place at the table, And that is just something that the team needs to realize, that, hey, you're going to play crappy, then okay, play crappy, but still find a way to get that result.
Completely agree.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, to me, man, it's just, going back, whether you can, at the same time, I don't know what goes behind closed doors in Cuapa, but I really hope Piojo sits this team down and, goes back over the game, because that's definitely so important. And, really goes back over the game and just really rips a new one into them. Be like, hey, y'all really messed up. Y'all really effed up here. And,
I hope he does. And I'm gonna say this real quickly. We have not talked about the officials or the referees, and we are not, because again, how many times have we said that is just an excuse? That is just an excuse. And for the longest time, Piojo has said, I'm not gonna talk about the referees. But what did he do at his press conference after the Querétaro game? He completely exploded against the referees.
Yeah, he really did.
For me, that's not what I want to see from him. I get it, you're frustrated, but it's the same thing I told you guys in the group chat. It's something you cannot control. It's an outside factor, and you just have to play along with it, deal with it, and you should be able to do, with your own abilities, your own skills, walk away with something. and we didn't do that. So the only ones to blame is not the ref, and it's not the Querétaro players, it's ourselves. So we got to look ourselves in the mirror and get our heads up and go against Leon and try to walk away with that result.
No, definitely agree.
Yeah.
Life coach, because they really need it.
But that wraps up the Querétaro America game. Pretty much just the less said about it, the better, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just so frustrating, really, to see this team. Like I've said to you at the beginning, to see this team go from week one to really build up to see them get better every week, just to see them go back down to that week one performance against Necaxa.
Or maybe it's just because I didn't predict the 4-0 result, and they
maybe.
like that.
Let's be honest, Ivan. You're more frustrated because you were so close to getting the first one right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remind me. All right, well, that pretty much does it, and now we're gonna move on. It's doble jornada, as we're usually talking about Copa MX about right now. We're actually gonna not talk about Copa MX because we got ourselves a pretty good game coming up against Leon. So the boys are gonna be going down to Guanajuato, and we're gonna go up against what would you say, Kari? A pretty decent Leon side?
A very frustrating Leon, put it that way. I'm trying to keep a brave face, but it's been tough since the beginning. Basically, they went against back-to-back Tigres and Monterrey, and losing those two games, it's kind of like, what's next, and coming back from that loss from Cruz Azul, really, I was really upset. So now looking at America, I'm like, oh great, now we're going against America, after Cruz Azul, and that game versus Cruz Azul. It was just, I didn't think Leon played bad first half because they were able to hold up and create, and they had the ball more ball possession for Cruz Azul. It's just Cruz Azul was down a man, so Leon had the advantage, and then Mejia did a foolish foul, which was uncalled for and kind of broke us down. And, it's evident Cruz Azul has been doing really great with the addition of Elias Hernandez, which really defends him, and it just broke my heart. I was so happy for him, but it broke my heart when he scored, and I was like, this is like reality. But you know what? It's to appreciate Elias Hernandez. Elias Hernandez has always been a very fundamental backbone player to Leon, so everybody's been noticing him. So now I think now that he's in, Cruz Azul, everybody's like, oh my God, Elias. Well, I'm like, I've already seen that from Elias, so... Yeah. But no, Cruz Azul had a really great game. I mean, the chemistry between him and Roberto Alvarado is just on point. So Leon just really suffered that match. And but you know what? We're looking ahead of America. So I could say it right now, it's a very unknown Leon, because before that 4-0 with Querétaro, we were looking at, okay, so let's just get rid of Gustavo Diaz and who's coming in, and then Leon won, so we're like, okay, they're going to giving him another game, and then this happens, and it's kind of been like that back and forth, what's next? So it's kind of still in the air, but what can we do about it? That's true. And happy anniversary to the Leon institution. They just had their little birthday. What how old? 74.
74.
7 Liga MX, 5 Copa MX, and 5 Campeones de Campeones.
Well, we could talk about our trophies and
yeah.
Okay, no, merit to you guys, because let's face it, you guys went back to back. Coming up from the second division, and what you guys, since the moment you guys arrived in the first division after you guys went down in this recent years, really respectable for what you guys did, because you guys actually kind of set an example for most teams coming up, because you guys just automatically said we're back up and we're not going back down. Exactly. And you guys actually cemented that with great signings, great play, and it paid off. I mean, look at the finals you guys won.
Definitely, those 10 years of relegation, they were really painful, and it was back then when it was kind of harder to get access to those Ascenso games. So I was constantly calling my uncle, and because he's in Leon, I'm like, tell me what's going on, what's the game? And like the 2-3 years that they almost had the opportunity to advance, they didn't, and kind of rumor that like, oh well, Leon doesn't, it's kind of like conspiracy that Leon didn't want to go up because they would lose some of their players, which tends to happen. But until they finally did, and back to back, big campeón, and we had the backbone plus additions like Rafa Marquez, and it's been great. It's just, I guess, after we have struggled with the coach, especially Gustavo Matosas, which we all love and respect. And I said it. If America gets him, he's only going to last one season, and that's it. And that's what happened.
That's all we needed.
You're right.
He brought us a championship. That's it.
Anyways. But yeah, so now, it's frustrating to see a Leon because game by game, I feel like, back then when they would lose, okay, I can see that they went out there, they played their hearts out. Now these games are kind of looking like they're not going out there to sweat their jersey. Like they need that, it's just, I'm very sentimental when it comes to Leon because it's been frustrating, but, just a reminder, Leon got that win versus America 5-1.
So you just had to throw that in the end.
You had to throw that in. That was so uncalled for.
I did. It was just memorable, and I'm not a big fan of Piojo, so it's just all adds up together. And
you're not a big fan of Piojo, or you're not a big fan of Piojo aerobics?
Piojo aerobics, definitely. That was so funny though.
People are mean. I'm all for Piojo aerobics. That's me in the morning every day.
I thought he was trying to get up. Whenever I saw that video, I was like, what is he trying to do? And then I read, I'm like, oh, he was camp the sit-ups. Okay.
Well, thank you for the little back history. And it's true what you say. You guys have maybe shifted a little bit from that, but you guys are still Leon, and you guys still carry that kind of history with you guys no matter what. And you guys always carry the sense that whenever we play against you guys, it can, for the love of me, not kind of push this feeling away that it's going to be an extremely tough game against Leon at the Camp Nou. At the Azteca, that's a whole different story. Sometimes I feel a little bit more confident, more better. But whenever we go play against you guys over there, I don't have the most fondest of memories, And I think the most recent one was when you guys remember William Da Silva was actually starting to play really good for us, and he actually looked like he was going to be a really good player. And we go play against Leon, he gets injured in the first couple of minutes, and then we never see that William ever again. So it's just these little things like that. And, of course, the fact that for some odd reason, your guys' top goal scorer always seems to find the back of the net against us.
Always. Very useful. Boselli is Boselli. If we want to go, call 1-800 Boselli. He's always been that dangerous player, and he will continue to be, which is a special game versus America because if they're playing at home, Mauro Boselli just needs one more goal to have 100 goals in Liga MX. He has 123 currently with Copa MX and Libertadores, but it'd be very special to score, especially against America because he scored before, especially in that campeonato. And then at home, and so Mauro Boselli is always going to be that dangerous player that you're going to have to keep an eye on. But defenders have a hard time because he's always at the right time. You can expect anything from Boselli. Not that way.
Okay, so what I take away from that is that Bruno Valdez, if you're listening, the first thing you do is break a leg, and if that leg is going to be Mauro Boselli's, then we will gladly take that red card.
I'm not gonna
Definitely.
I'm kidding. No, don't injure him on purpose. Wink, wink. Look, Mauro Boselli, I think, is always going to be that lethal striker, and it's. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Does he have the most goals against us out of everyone that's playing right now?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
I feel like he's the one player that always scores against us.
I mean, his name does ring bells a lot every time we see.
How many times have we heard, America's in for Boselli? And you know what, though? As much as respect I have for Boselli, because his track record is unbelievable since he's gotten here, he, for me, I think, is not an America player. I don't know what it is about him. Don't get me wrong. He's a great striker. He is, and he's proven it, especially against us time and time again. He's just, for me, is not an American striker. So whenever we've been linked to him, I've never been like, yes. I've always been like, no, let's go another angle. But granted, he is going to be the key player for Leon, I would imagine. Right, Kari?
Definitely going to be a player to keep an eye on. So I'll sneak up on you.
Alrighty. So the game is tomorrow at what time, Dylan?
At 7 for me. No, I lied. Yeah, okay, I was right. I don't know why I thought it was at 9 again.
Yeah, you're right. At 7.
So it's 7 o'clock for you, 5 for me, 8 for you, right, Christian?
Yes, 8 for me, yes.
God, my math is wrong.
It's all right.
but let's be honest here. It's going to be a tough game. Let's go and let's dive in and let's talk the specifics of this matchup. It's obviously we know it's going to be down in Guanajuato at the Camp Nou. America's already posted their lineup. We were going to predict this coming into this, but Piojo decided to give the early lineup. What do you guys? You know what, Dylan, you got it, or you know what, Christian, you got it there. I know you do. So go ahead and give us the lineup for America tomorrow.
Okay, so the lineup tomorrow will be Marchesín in net, Jorge Sanchez as right back, Edson Alvarez, Bruno Valdez, and Carlos Vargas taking that left back spot, which we will talk because I'm very happy for this move. The same midfield, Diego Lainez, Mateus Uribe, Guido Rodriguez, Andres Ibargüen, up top, Roger Martinez, and Oribe Peralta.
Alrighty, we'll talk about the lineup real quickly. Kari, do you want to give your predicted lineup for tomorrow?
Yeah, predicted lineup, I think it's going to be the same for the exception of one player. So I go Cota, which I've been so stoked to have him, and I just feel safer with him. Then we have Tecillo and Mosquera, and then we have Navarro and Cornejo outside. So Mejia's out, so what I would think would take that role would be Leo Lopez, which he has yet to show me more, but I think for right now they'll sneak him in there. In the middle with Pedro Aquino, then up top, Chapo Montes, Jairo on the left, Maxi Cerato on the right, and Boselli in punta. Maxi Cerato, I've been really appreciating him since last season. Could we see the new Leon player that is the legit replacement for Elias? He has yet to see, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was sub into him. But that's looking like the lineup for tomorrow against America for me.
Okay, still a pretty strong lineup, I would say. So even with that red card, I think you guys are still going to bring it. Of course, you guys are looking to bounce back after that result against Cruz Azul. And of course, what better way to do it than against America, which, like our good friend Carlos said, everyone is, for some reason, always bringing their best version of themselves whenever they do play against us, which, I mean...
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We've seen it time and time again. So, gentlemen, let's talk briefly about this lineup. And it's looking like a 4-4-2, but we know better than that. It looks like it might be that 4-2-3-1 with Oribe Peralta in that cam position. If that is the case, how do we even solve this problem? I don't even know if it's solvable at this point.
I mean, you're saying it like, is it really solvable? Like, what's there to really do? What's there to really do for this at all?
Doesn't help us at all. Yeah, does not help us at all.
Look, let's be honest. This is going to be a game in which I think we need to find a way to exploit Leon's midfield. And having Peralta that deep with just leaving Roger by himself, which, don't get me wrong, Roger loves to be by himself. And he's proven time and time again. You see the way he can body players.
Yes, especially in that 2v1, which supposedly was a penalty kick.
Yes.
But yes, that was it should have been a PK, just letting everyone know. Should have been a PK, yes. But yes, we do know what he can do when he is in that 1v1 or 2v1 trying to muscle people out. And he can do it. We just need to get him the right balls.
He's Cabañas reincarnated. I've said it.
That's what everyone's saying.
Time and time again. But I feel like Roger benefits a lot from having Oribe Peralta up top there because, like we mentioned previously, Oribe Peralta does so well is he kind of drops down, receives the ball, and people can play off him. And he also knows how to run into space, which means defenders track him as well, leaving other space for Roger Martinez to run into, or, as we've seen it before too, Mateus Uribe, right?
Yes.
So if you have Oribe Peralta in this cam position who is just solely focused on just kind of covering that space, you know, it doesn't really bring us much going forward. And there is no real way of solving this except maybe saying, hey, Oribe Peralta, just go be that second striker. I mean, I don't know what else can we tell him, you know? It's ridiculous. I don't know if he even wants to play in that spot, to be honest.
Does he even want to play?
And that's true, though, because why? He's our captain, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, too, I mean, Piojo had that trust in him, and he always has.
What did I put on Saturday is... you live by Oribe, you die by Oribe.
Basically.
It's true. It's true. So, I mean, granted, how do we feel about the lineup in general? I mean, besides Oribe Peralta possibly playing in that camp position, my only call for concern is Ibargüen.
Yes.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I still don't see it, man. I really don't. I still don't understand it why he starts week in and week out.
I don't. He was absolutely quiet for the whole time he was playing against Querétaro.
Yes.
And let's be honest, yes, he has a couple good runs. Yes, he can take on a couple of good players. But what's the one thing, Christian, that he's always lacked when he gets to the final third?
His finishing. He cannot finish. He does not know how to choose a right pass in that final third to maybe find Roger or Oribe. That's the one thing he's lacking.
Exactly. So, simple fix to this. I think you bring in either Cecilio Dominguez or you move Diego Lainez to the left and you bring in the man that we know can perform time and time again, and that's Renato Ibarra, who our friend Garrett, who won the giveaway last week, has been hashtagging free Renato. I don't know if Renato's incarcerated, but um, it feels like it because he was arguably the best player we've had for a long time now.
Yeah, and like I said to you before, coming off of the injury, you see him come in, subbed in, he doesn't miss a beat. He hasn't missed a beat. He still goes out and continues to do what Renato Ibarra knows how to do.
That is true. That is true. So, Kari, for you, what is the most crucial part of the pitch that is going to be the determining factor for one of these teams to win?
For Leon or for America or
just in general, what do you think? Whoever wins this, let's say the midfield, the defense, the offense, what position do you think is going to be the most important for any team to that will be the deciding factor in this game?
I mean, if I'm talking about Leon, I would probably say the wings and striker, because you have a Maxi Cerato and a Yairo, who this past game versus Cruz Azul, they were switching on and off. Like Maxi would move to the left, Yairo to the right, and then switch back. And they can be very lethal on the attack, especially Yairo Moreno. I've been really liking him. He's been kind of consistent. So as long as they connect with Chapo Montes, but his position just works behind Boselli. And, giving balls to Boselli as long as the wings, I think that'll be a determining factor in Leon. But as well as defense, because defense has been really upsetting. So I can definitely see the dangers that, America would bring to, Leon, and having that communication, and, they've just been lacking. I miss Nacho Gonzalez, but he's been out injured for, God knows when, and we don't know when we're going to get him back. So for me, my strongest, I think, for Leon would be the wings and the striker, and then just the weakness in the defense. But other than that, I think you guys have a pretty good mid and up. I mean, I'm scared of Linus. Guido has always been one of my favorites ever since Carlos. Cecilio, he can bring, as well as Mateo. So you guys have dangerous players. It's you guys bounce back from Querétaro. Because you're going against a Leon. Yeah, I can say a heartbroken Leon, but I think we both can acknowledge on both sides that when it's Leon America, it's like a totally different ball game. It's like they cannot, lose against each other, and that's where the friction comes in. And it's gonna be a tough match, but yeah, I think.
Dylan and Christian, for you, I'll ask you kind of the same question. What's going to be the most crucial part of our game to walk away with a result, which for us, I think is the 3 points.
I mean, I think it's a no-brainer for me. I say it time and time again. I think the game's always won at the midfield. So one
of these days you're gonna have to give me a different answer.
I know I am, but I don't know. That's just how I see it. I really do, and I really want Guido to step it up more. I really don't think he stepped it up a lot in this Querétaro game. Mateus Uribe too as well. Those are two players that I'm gonna look out for. That really need to step it up and are gonna be key in the midfield position to me.
Definitely, I agree with Dylan. I think Mateus Uribe for me last game was a little bit quiet. I feel like when Mateus gets in his mood, he gets in his groove, he can really create stuff for us, and I think that's gonna be my key player, at least for this match.
Okay, good. You're saying key player now. Dylan, I'll give me your key player.
Guido.
Gotti, your key player?
My key player.
Boselli.
Okay, I'll go striker for striker.
We have. I mean, Elias even said it. He kind of threw it at Boselli. He's like, Boselli misses me because the connection was right there, and it's kind of like who was gonna actually, we've seen a couple of plays, and I think to me, except for, the exception of Cerato, the youngster Mascorro, Hector Mascorro, I've seen in Copa MX play, and he has a great connection with Boselli. He just needs more minutes so that he can be definitely, develop more as that wing player to serve to Boselli, because we just need a legit wing. That's all we need. But my key player is Boselli because he's always going to find a way. So Marchesín should just accept that.
Marchesín's not the type of player to just accept that.
Edson got that on lockdown, promise you.
I'm with Dylan. I think this is gonna be a big game for Edson Alvarez, and I think he's gonna prove himself that there's a reason why he's a World Cup starter.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm going striker for striker. I'm going Roger Martinez. I think with this Leon defense, he can body them out easily and find the back of the net. Let's see what let's see what the Colombian's willing to do to kind of keep himself going.
It's gonna be tough with Mosquera, definitely. Mosquera and Tecillo have been definitely they've been strong at points, so I definitely see that as a challenge for Mosquera. But I think handling Roger should not be that difficult for me. I think
wait till Roger goes one-on-one with him. I mean,
and then you'll see. And then you'll see. Yeah.
What does the team feed him? That's ridiculous. The amount of strength that guy has.
He looks like a football player, like an actual American football player.
Yes, he does. Ridiculous. I'm like, wow.
But I think maybe America sometimes can, like, looking at this and looking at los laterales de León, and kind of see, like, underestimate them. But you have, because they're shorter, have Navarro and Cornejo, but they've been, really, I don't know. I just really like them. So I think America could be like, it's little short ones. Like, we can handle this. But hey, they're gonna give you a fight. So.
Well, our wingers are pretty short too. You seen Diego Lainez, how tall he is?
Yeah. He's taller than me.
Not the tallest
taller than me.
No, but Navarro's probably like 5'5" or something. I'm 5'3", so anything taller than
Lainez is 5'5" too.
Oh.
I think.
Is he? I think he's taller.
I thought he was taller.
Yeah. I think he's 5'5", 5'6".
He's like 5'5", 5'6".
Wow, so he's as tall as me. I actually feel good about myself. I'm 5'6", 5'7". That's right there.
So you're 5'3", you're 5'6", 5'7". Christian, how tall are you?
5'5".
You're 5'5"?
Mm-hmm.
Am I the tallest one here? I'm 5'10".
What?
See, that's what I'm saying. I could be 5'10".
Yeah, I would think he'd be 5'10", and Ivan would be like.
What? Do I look like the short?
You look short.
Yeah, honestly, I thought when I first met you guys, I thought Dylan was the tallest out of two of you. Yes.
Again, I'm feeling attacked on my own show. What's going on here?
Christian's like a 5'7", 5'8". I
am not a. Oh my god.
Oh my.
First of all, I always wanted to be 6 feet. I just never. I was 2 inches away from that. Then I don't know why I didn't keep stretching.
Monkey bars, or you'll stretch out.
I know, right? Well, playing goalkeeper is probably what got me this tall. But I can't believe you guys thought I was the shortest.
You know what? If you put your Ochoa wig, I'll probably have 2 more inches. So.
That's true.
Somewhere too. So probably pull it out for the next L3 game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Well, now that I've got attacked from my size as well. Let's talk predictions here. What are you guys gonna go with? I know, Kari, I'm gonna leave you till the end because she's been kind of a golden goose when it comes to this prediction.
Don't quote me on this game though, because my heart's in it. So
that doesn't matter.
It does, because when I do the other games, it's kind of just I sleep on it, or I'm just visualizing it. And when it's Leon, it's like my optimistic side and realism strikes. So just leave me to that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going with you first, Christian. What are you going with?
2-0 America.
2-0 America. Okay. Dylan, what are you going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0. 2-0.
2-0. Our good friend Carlos is saying that he's going with a 0-0. Oof.
He's boring.
A lot of confidence there, Carlos. Come on. What are you doing to me? Okay, before I go to Kari, I'll give my prediction. Dylan, you ready? You ready with the pen?
I already wrote it down, man. I think I already know.
It's unpredictable, probably.
Okay, why is everyone thinking? No, look, I actually, like I said, when it comes to Leon, I'm always nervous. I've always felt like we find a tough time there. There's a couple times where we got in, the win. Usually we walk away with not much. So I am very cautious. I'm very worried. The way we played against Querétaro isn't really boosting me for such a big game out of our boys. But who knows? Maybe Piojo actually yelled at them and they actually know what they did and the flaws. So, all right, my prediction here, and I'm going a little bit conservative for that same reason of what happened against Querétaro. I'm going 4-0. America is going to walk away with 4 goals. It's going to be Roger with 2, Mateo Soribe with 1, and Diego Lainez is going to find the back of the net in the 90th minute as well. So write it down, 4-0. America's walking away with the W. And Kari?
So offended by that.
Offended?
I do.
Offended.
I do.
I'm more offended if it happens.
So I slept on it. I asked, I meditated on it too.
She's going 4-0 too.
I am going with the 2-2 draw.
High scoring game.
I was thinking a 1-1, but I could be like America winning 2-1 and then Leon, I don't know where scores the last, in the 80+ minute. So I'm going with the 2-2 draw. Do I think Leon could at least win a 1-0? If I see the same Leon that played against Querétaro, yes. But I think at this point, you guys coming off from Querétaro, you're kind of still, have mixed emotions and seeing how America's going to come into this game. And me, Leon, I'm heartbroken, but, it is what it is. So, and we're at home, if the crowd's there, definitely setting the mood. Leon fans loyal. So I'm going with the 2-2 draw. So not too specific on the goals like Ivan, but 2-2.
Sometimes you gotta be a little specific,
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So you're saying Bocelli's gonna get a brace?
Bocelli,
basically.
Bocelli's gonna get a break. Or Bocelli one and Jairo Moreno, another one, and then Lainez and Roger.
So much for not being so specific, right?
I mean, might as well. You guys better not jinx me if I fail the rest of my predictions for the week.
Oh man, yeah. Whatever, we'll take it. We'll put it as a trophy for us.
True.
Oh man.
Well, gentlemen, if the prediction comes right, we will all be eating gansito come the next podcast. So let's hope that the prediction does come right. Let's hope for a result at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who's right and who's not. I think the only thing that we would accept as a result is really going to be that W, correct?
Definitely.
Kari, you would be content with a draw?
At this point, and how Leon's playing, if it's what it takes to get rid of Gustavo, sure. It sounds so dark, but I just want to see a Leon reconnect again. I want to see a Leon that if they tie, okay, then I'm satisfied that they did what they could, that the players, went beyond and, filled their roles. And I just want to see a functioning Leon, that Gustavo Diaz has yet to show me that Leon has a definite style of play. That's what they're lacking. Game by game, I'm like, what are we playing for? Like, I don't see, like, a consistent, okay, this is how Leon played this game. Okay, I don't see that. So I think I'm lacking that. And I just want to see a productive Leon. I really do. Because I know Leon can. And I feel like this window, Leon got a lot of good transfers. I just think the coach is what is kind of messing it up. Some subs, I'm like, why? Or
Don't worry, we're in the same boat.
Yeah, I still have questioning, but I just want to see a good Leon. And if it's against America, I mean, if we would have beat Cruz Azul, I would have said a 2-0 versus America. I really would have, because yeah. But since they didn't, I'm feeling so 2-2 draw for me.
Well,
I'm gonna go off subject a little bit, but the way Kari was talking about Leon, how she questions the coaches, the way the team's playing, everything, sound like me with the Dallas Cowboys last year.
Oh my God, yes. Me too. And Dylan, I used to work at Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop, so I was like an going thing, just talking about it every day. So
nice.
Oh man, that's great. That's awesome.
Connection.
I'm telling you, man, it's that Texas connection, man.
It's that Texas connection. Don't be mad, Ivan. It's just
no, you're right. I shouldn't be mad. It's just it should be nice I should just be content with my Cali weather and everything that we got over here.
You're more than welcome to come to it.
That's why Whataburger will always be superior to In-N-Out.
Always.
Why was today just the day that we attack Ivan on the show? Because it feels like that. It really does. And Christian's not even helping me. He's just helping me.
I'm like in the middle trying to see who wins this fight.
He's like that. Like, I'm just gonna go for the winning side here. I don't know exactly where it's going. But
I'm neutral. Thank you.
I know how to hold my own fort, so.
I know, but it looks like Dylan just... I don't know, Dylan. Did management put you up to this?
I don't know. You have to ask them to find out. hey, that's what happens when you're not in the host seat for 2 episodes.
Okay, see, now I'm on Dylan's side now.
Okay,
all right. Your mom's kind of feisty, Ivan. I see him tweeting at you sometimes, kind of throwing shots at you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a life. It's the life of a Club America co-host, right? Dylan has to constantly keep me on check.
That's right.
I applaud that.
Well, great words by Cari. Leon, we know you listen to this. So, get rid of your manager. Your first lady manager is right here. So make sure you guys do hit her up. And hopefully, your Leon side can come out of, the little bit of slump and dark spell after they lose against us. And, hopefully that... hopefully things look up for you guys, because it's always fun playing against Leon. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. Just the 5-1.
Okay, do you want to talk about the result last season?
We can talk about it, but the 5-1's not going anywhere because the 1 you guys didn't even score. So,
you know what? Leon has played us in finals before, so I should just be a little bit more cautious. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. That's the beauty. That's the beauty about football. You never know. We might make it to the Liga. You guys might see each other in the finals, and
not with full points. We're not going to see Leon in the final.
Oh, now you want to step in. Out of all the moments you could have stepped in.
Oh man.
But that is our preview for tomorrow's game. I think we can all safely agree it's gonna be a good game. Make sure you guys watch it. If this is not the game of the week, Cari will let you know soon what game to watch. But really, pay attention to it. It's gonna be a game which I predict a lot of goals and hopefully a lot for us. Let's keep the clean sheet, boys. I think it's important. I think we all can agree to that. Anything else you guys want to add on to this little preview?
No, I think we covered everything.
You, Cari?
No, I'm good.
No? Alrighty. So then tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time, make sure you guys do follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye Pod. We'll have you guys covered with everything live tweets. We still haven't figured out who's going to go first half or second half, but we'll guys let you guys know, and we'll get you guys covered just in case for those of you who are at school and will not be able to watch it. We'll keep you guys posted as much as possible. Don't forget that you can also find us on iTunes and SoundCloud just by typing up the Eagle Eye Podcast, and you guys will see we're the ones. I think we should be the first ones to pop up with a big yellow background and an eagle, and it literally says in blue letters, the Eagle Eye Podcast. You can't miss it for the world at all. And we're going to wrap up the show real quickly, but before we do so, let's talk a little bit about our Lady Águilas and the sad result that they had against Pumas in the Clásico Capitulino.
Heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. I mean, it's we always say this every week, but it still sucks that we can't watch these games, and I still haven't found a live stream, and so it's something that I look forward to in the future too. But judging by the tweets, the account was tweeting a lot of ladies had some chances. Just couldn't find the back of the net, and obviously Pumas putting it away pretty early on in the game too as well.
You know what? I blame us for the ladies losing, because we still haven't found a way to watch them, and they don't have our full support, and because of that, they lost.
That could be it.
Home?
That could be it. No, we were.
I thought we were at home.
We were home, right?
I think so.
Were we? Yeah, we were home. Yes, you're right. We were home. Yes,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lady Águilas, we know you listen to this from time to time, and we just want to say that keep your heads up, because I think is this our first loss?
Yes, this is our first loss.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
We're still in first place, though. Well, tied for first.
Tied in first. Okay. Well, still, ladies, keep it up. We believe in you guys, girls. Excuse me, and just keep going about it. Hopefully, we can start watching some of your games because what was it? I think a year ago we actually watched them a little bit. I think you sent us the link, Christian, to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, the semi game against Tigres, I think.
Yes. So
Yes,
and it was fun. It was watching them. The stadium looked like they were having a good time as well. The ladies were playing pretty decent. Let's just keep hoping for the best for the ladies soccer over there in Mexico, so they can make it here into the United
Wow,
States.
you see what
I
the
did see what
soccer
our good
put?
friend in
Godly.
said. The Pumas score for the ladies was actually playing in America last season, so
That's
that hurts.
that
It
hurts.
does hurt,
That
but
sucks.
you know these things happen in football. Kari, do you know anything about the ladies from Leon?
They won yesterday. They won 2-1 against Santos. I was watching the highlights in the morning. But yeah, it's difficult to get a link. Here and there, I'll have a couple of people on Twitter just ask me if they have a link. If I have a link, and I've been able to get one here and there. But I mean, definitely something that, by the numbers, especially by the their final that they had last season, they should be able to broadcast them. And it's going to be something big that's, it's growing, and I applaud that. Me as, a girl, definitely. And, for other girls and even for guys, because, watching girls is definitely entertaining. They're not as, I don't know the word, but Tuca said something about it, saying how, girls, they don't fall, they don't,
Oh no, they're
Yeah.
ridiculously tough on their feet. It's
yeah, they're tough.
They put us to shame.
Yeah, it's kind of like if they fall or something, it's kind of embarrassing, and it's not vice versa. So definitely applaud them. But yeah, the Leon girls, they won 2-1, so their first win. So they add 3 points. So hopefully they have a better season than last season.
Okay, so congratulations to the Lady Leon. Make sure you guys do support the Lady Aguilas by using the hashtag Lady Aguilas. And yeah, just let's keep going. Let's not forget, hopefully once our partnership with Gancitos goes through, we can find a way to, broadcast them live to the Twitter community.
Yes.
First, we have to reach out to Gancitos though, because we still haven't done that.
Yeah.
Just hoping that they listen for some reason.
On step one, we're getting there.
It's just Gancito. What about Pingüinos?
I don't know. Is there a Pingüino GIF? No, Christian, you found that GIF, right? The Gancito one.
Yes, I did. I found that.
Exactly. I mean, that's gonna represent us the whole season. Alrighty, but it's time to close off the show. It pretty much hopeful for a very good game against Leon. We'll be back on Thursday, correct, gentlemen?
Yes, correct.
We will be talking about our own Clásico Capitolino going up against Pumas, and we're going to talk about exactly what we should be looking out for. It's a home game for us, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then. So that should be an interesting matchup. And as always, a Clásico is a Clásico. Hopefully Piojo has that in mind, and we'll break that down and talk everything that happened against Leon as well come Thursday. And anything else any of you want to add on?
No. I mean, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Got it?
Gucci, we're good.
We're Gucci. All right. Since we're Gucci, we want to say thank you to Miss Kari Torres for coming on to the podcast and, giving us her Leon expertise from FootMex Nation. Kari, I like to ask our guests this because I think it's important that our listeners hear this from our own guests. And if you have any advice to anyone who is trying to pursue just a path that you're on, what is the one thing you would recommend to them?
Take on opportunities, whatever it is. My opportunity was doing basketball, and I had to learn that. So I bounced off basketball, and just keep doing. Be persistent, be consistent, and take advantage of opportunities because you don't know. And network. Talk to people. Be passionate about what you're doing.
Beautiful, beautiful words. Like Dylan has always said, it's not about what, Dylan? It's
not about the grades you make with the hands you shake.
There you go.
I like that.
Nice. That's his bio now.
I thank you guys. I thank you guys for having me preview this game, especially. I'm a big fan of you guys. You guys, I tune in. So thank you for having me for this
No, thank you for coming along, and thank you for everything that you've done for the community as well, for your part in helping grow the community, and establishing it and furthering it on. And I think you set a great example for not just anyone, but I think just for the woman culture that is part of this community, which is a very, very big influential part as well. And maybe we don't give the recognition as much as it deserves, but thank you for what you have done and for what you continue to do, and you're setting a great path and example. And we're big fans of you as well, so we just hope that you can continue to do that forward, and we look forward to working with you again soon.
I think you're gonna make me cry. No, I really appreciate that. It's I do this on the side. I have my full-time job, so definitely just if you want it, you gotta make time for it regardless, or make time for it, be dedicated. If not, then don't even bother. So you can do it. Anybody can do it. So. And what you guys are doing, making the Aguila in English, I mean, that's growing too. So I very applaud that, because I wish I had a learn in English, at least account, but still in the works, But thank you, Ivan, and thank you guys, and definitely props to you guys. So keep it up, because I'm always gonna be a fan and tuning into y'all. So.
Thank you. That means a lot to us.
Love is mutual.
Thank you. No, it means a lot to us. I mean, at the end of the day, I think all of us can kind of wipe away our colors and be neutral in the aspect, but still be a family. Because that's really what we are at the end of the day. This whole Liga MX English culture. At the end of the day, I don't want to see it as just a hashtag. I want to see it as a family, and I think we're getting closer to that. The more people join. So again, thank you for everything. But again, thank you to everyone too who tuned in, who watched us, our good friends from La Resaca Americanista. Make sure you guys go follow them on YouTube and subscribe to them. They are so close to that 100K subscription account. Make sure you guys do check them out. To Carlos, to our friend from Ireland, to Luis, who sticked around for a little bit, to Leva, who I know was on the group chat right there, Mr. Chivas coming and giving us a little bit of a bash. To everyone, really, thank you so much for coming out in the live chat. And to everyone who is listening to this right now on the go, you guys are the real MVPs. To everyone who has followed us on Twitter, we have reached over 330 followers. Trust me, we get closer to that 400 account, we'll be giving away something very, very soon. And for our 500 giveaway, we'll make sure that we'll make it a pretty big deal as well. So I hope the winners from the 300 giveaway are enjoying their jerseys, Mr. Garrett and Miss America. And again, thank you guys for all the support. Again, we couldn't do this without you guys. It means the world to us, because at the end of the day, it started off as two guys did it that practically know nothing about what they're talking about, just yelling onto the microphone and having a very, very great support. And now Christian, who actually does know what he's talking about, has joined us, and we're grateful for him as well. So thank you guys so much for everything. We'll see you guys on the next podcast, which is going to be Thursday. And Miss Cari Torres, again, thank you so much for everything. We'll be catching you guys all very, very soon. And until next time, guys, take care. Y arriba la América.